So in this video, I'm going to be showing you just a peek inside how we do exam week. So we are largely Charlotte Mason inspired. We are not purist. There are a few things we tweak to fit each child, but for the most part, we are Charlotte Mason. So with Charlotte Mason, you will see a huge difference in a lot of areas versus traditional schooling, of course. But one of those main differences is exams. So with traditional schooling, you have quizzes, you have tests, you have a lot of memorization, you have a lot of stuffing, knowledge, cramming in order to pass a test. With Charlotte Mason exams, the main difference is your child is showing you what they know. You are not drilling them, you are not they're not going to cram the week before. We do no studying before our exam week. I don't remind them of that exam week's coming up. I don't tell them they should go back and review things because exams are just to show what your child has learned during your 12-week term, okay? So if your child does not do well in their exam, then that shows you maybe a weakness in a book. Maybe that shows you just some different areas you need to work on. But overall, the child should be familiar with the materials you're going to be covering because they have already narrated this information to you, either in oral form or written form, okay? So the Charlotte Mason exams are basically narrations. They're just extended narrations. That's all they are. It's very simple. So what I do in order to prepare for our exams is I just open up the notes in my phone and I make comments, or I'll write down questions or prompts that I want to make sure to include in the exam week as I go. And when I come to exam week, then I will be ready to fill out our exam books, okay? So I am mainly talking about high school and middle schoolers here, upper elementary. So for lower elementary, your children's exams should be oral. So I will show you a peek inside my lower elementary students' exams as we go. I don't do a super long preparation for him. I basically just ask him questions or give him narration prompts, and he narrates it back to me orally. So sometimes I'll write it as he goes. Other times I'll record him. But either way, I want some sort of record of what he said. So a lot of times I'll just go back and write his narration out for him. And then he will also illustrate what he remembers from the story or the certain topic that we've talked about. I do review a little more with him just because he does have some processing disorder. And so I do find review helps, but it's not like cramming for an exam. I review weekly and I just go through. I'm not really preparing him for a test. I'm just reviewing to help him process the information. We usually take, for my older kids, 3 days to do exams. Now, Charlotte Mason has suggested a week. A lot of people do a week-long examination week. But for us and for my children, they like to keep it kind of shorter. So we do 3 days. And in those 3 days, I will break down each subject and they will do like 1 or 2 prompts per subject per day, okay? So you could spread this out to be a week. We have condensed it down to 3 days, okay? So we're going to do exams this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday because Thursday we have co-op. And Monday, I didn't quite get done with a book I wanted to finish. So we're going to work on some math work, and we're also going to finish up some of our reading on that day. So we're just, and they may do some of their exams that day. We'll see how it goes. But we do plan on having 3 days worth of exams, okay? So for the exams, like I said, they're just extended narrations. Okay, so you're going to go through the books that your children have been reading, and you're going to say, tell me about Christopher Columbus. Okay, so we are in ancient history. Okay, so we are doing have been in ancient Egypt for 12 weeks now. And so we're going to take our exam. We're finishing up with that. And it just happened that Egypt lasted quite a while for us, okay? So we are going to I have a list. We have history, we do grammar, we do Latin translation, we do Plutarch, Bible, map work, church history, science, poetry, hymn study, okay? So that's the things they're really going, and artist study. Those are the things they're really going to be tested on, okay? But I love this approach. It's because my children are so excited. My daughter is literally chomping at the bit to get her exams done because she knows she's going to do well, okay? And I believe this positive reinforcement with exams has really helped her to love to learn, okay? So we're not sitting here with at the exam book with a red pen, okay? I am going to give her a prompt. She is going to write out a written narration. She's 13, so she's going to write 6 to 8 sentences about the prompt or more, whatever she feels like. I do require at least 4 to 6 sentences. I don't have a problem with her. She's the one who will fill the whole page. But sometimes some children need an expectation set. So I do have that rule embedded that they have to have at least 4 good, solid sentences, 4 to 6, okay? But a lot of times more than that, okay? So they will answer the prompt with full sentences and they will tell me what they know. And I love what Charlotte Mason says. So in her 6th volume, A Philosophy of Education, Charlotte Mason is talking about narrations, and she says that the child requires, in most cases, knowledge be communicated to him in literary form and reproduces such knowledge touched by his own personality. Thus, his reproduction becomes an original. And that, I love that. That's what narration is that your child is reproducing what they have taken in. And as they reproduce it, they are making it their own. They are making it an original. So it's embedded in their memory after they narrate it. So for my older children, we like to use these blue exam books. Okay, these are, I haven't used this exact set before, and I didn't read I just bought the cheapest ones, and they are wide lined, wide ruled. So usually I use college ruled, but so we'll see. We may have to use 2 booklets to fill up. I may have to give them some extra room to narrate, but we'll see how it goes. But these are what I like to use for older children because it's just condensed down into one location, and I can file this away as our first term exams for 2024-2025 pretty easily. But I have just I printed it out, I've typed it up and printed it out for them. I have just handed them a list of prompts and then write it in a separate notebook or then type it up. You can do exams however works best for you, okay? So you can write your prompts out by hand or you can type them up. So for me, in the blue exam book, I type out the prompt and simply just glue it in, okay? And I do that because my handwriting is atrocious. And I don't want to be answering my kids asking all day, I can't read this, what does this say? So we just take care of that, and I want it simple. So they will take these and they will do this totally independently. We will do about 2 questions per subject, or 2 narration prompts per subject each day, okay? So this booklet is full of questions or prompts, and but they will not do them all in one sitting. Like I said, we spread this out over 3 days, but you could spread it out over 5 if your child needed that. My favorite thing about exam week is that it is a celebration week. It is a celebration of reaching 12 weeks. the first 12 weeks, the second 12 weeks, the third 12 weeks of your school year. And what a huge accomplishment that is for you and your children. And all that you've learned, you get to celebrate what you've learned, not just through answering multiple choice questions, but through taking ownership of their education and actually them making it their own. And you get to see their personalities and their answers. So a lot of my narration prompts for my older two are the same prompts. Okay, so I have one for my 12th grader and I have one for my 8th grader. And the prompts are about history and our group subjects like Bible, Plutarch. They're all the same prompts. But what I love about exams is you get to see their personalities come through, because they will not answer it the same. They will answer these prompts differently. Also, something that I do is I will give them a narration prompt, but it will be, for example, one is, let's see, tell me about one of the female pharaohs. Okay, so they get to choose which pharaoh or queen they want to talk about, and they get to choose which one, but they get to put their personal twist on it. Or I can say, choose either Senefru or Khufu and tell me about them and their pyramids. Okay, so they get to choose either or. And a lot of times they choose the same one, but other times they choose completely different, the other prompt, and so it's fun to see which one each child chooses and how they answer. And it really shows the uniqueness of each child, and you get to see that unfolding before your eyes, that your children have actually taken hold of what you have taught them or what they have read, and they have made it their own, and their personalities are glowing through it. That's what I love about the exams, is that it does not cap off personality, and it does not cap off creative strands in your child, that it actually encourages them and flourishes them. So you can take these exams and make them your own, and you can make them fit your family's needs.